Shalom, coming to y'all with another video, and I want to start it off by giving all glory, all honor, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders in GMS who rule well, prophet and teaching this truth. Peace, blessing, and salutation to the hopeful elect who is scattered amongst the nation, which is that speckled bird, who are the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American that we know today. Esau being a so-called white man in Job 9 and 24. And today's title of the video is going to be about David's transgression and the things that he did to disobey and do evil in the sight of, the Most High Yahweh. And we're going to start it off with 2 Samuel 11, verse 1. It says, "And it came to pass as the year was expired at the time when the kings go forth to battle, that David sent Joab and his servants with him and all the Israel, and they destroyed the children of Ammon and besieged Rabbah. But David tarried still at Jerusalem. And it came to pass in eventide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon." And when you go into further details and look into things, David was not supposed to be at the king's house. He was actually supposed to be out there with Joab and his servants, in the battle. And, he tarried behind at the king's house. But when you go into the word eventide, and you look at it, it was during the sunset. So, when the sun was coming up, and he seen a woman bathing herself, at that time. Now, when you think about it, nobody would be bathing themselves at that time, early in the morning, when nobody's up, you know what I'm saying? And she know what she was doing, because this is not nothing random. This is something that just can't happen out of a sudden. Like, this is something that you would do. No, this is something that was planned out. And she knew David would get up and go walk at that time, because, why at that time she's bathing and David comes and sees that. So David seen that and got enticed by that. And we're going to go into 1 Timothy 2 and 9. It says, at the title, Women Instructed. "In like manner also, the women adore themselves in the modest apparel and shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broad hair or gold or apparels or costly array, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works." And when this talking about, the women supposed to keep themselves in the modest apparel, they're not supposed to dress as inappropriate, as you would say, or be more revealing or flashy to catch somebody's eyes, because the man's prize is this woman, and the woman's supposed to do their best to to keep it up, to make it so the man's prize is more valuable and special to him, nobody else. Nobody's supposed to be looking upon your woman. Nobody's supposed to be able to have that type of I would say advantage to look at your woman and to see what she got or what she have. But the woman's supposed to keep that keep it less revealing, to have like a modest apparel. She's not supposed to just be out there looking however. She got to keep it good for her man. And we're gonna go to James 1 and 13. So like James 1 and 14, it says, "But every man is tempted when he is drawn away from his lust and enticed. Then when the lust has conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death." So when you are tempted to something, and your lust, gets to you, you shouldn't be enticed. You shouldn't be baited into it, because that's what the definition of entice is when you go and look it up. It says to bait, catch by a bait, to beguile by blandishment, allure, entice, deceive. So you can't do that. And whenever you be enticed in that and you go into it, it brings forth sin. And then sin brings forth death. Because when you go into it, the wages of sin is death. Romans 6:23, it says, "For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of the Most High is eternal through Yahushua Mashiach, our Lord." And that's true. So you can't really be caught off, being tempted from all these lusts. And we're going to go to Galatians 5:17. It says, "For the flesh lusted against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these contrary to one another, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would." Right. So we can't lust after this flesh. We always sinning because of this body that we in, because the flesh lusted after the spirit, and the spirit lusted after the flesh. So every day we fighting these things, but we got to try our hardest to move away from that. Then we're going to go back and read further on into 2 Samuel 11. 3. And it says, "And David sent and inquired after the woman, and one said, Is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? And David sent messengers and took her, and she came in unto him, and he lay with her, for she was purified from her uncleanness, and she returned unto her house." And we're going to go into Matthew 5:27. This is Matthew 5:27. Salaki. It says, "Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, Thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you, that whosoever looked on a woman to lust after her committed adultery with her already in his heart." Right. So if you see a woman and she's not begotten by a man, she's not dealing with a man, you could look at her, but it comes into a sin when you're looking after a woman and she's married. You're not supposed to do that. That's going off. You're going after wicked ways, and you're not supposed to do that. And we could go and get the law for that in Leviticus 20:10. It says, "And that man that committed adultery with another man's wife, even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death." So, David and Bathsheba know what they was doing. It wasn't no, like I said, it wasn't no coincidence. They know what they're doing. They were going after that action. And we could go into Deuteronomy 22:22 to further that, to back it up. It says, if a man be found lying with a woman married to a husband, then they shall both of them die, both the man that lay with the woman and the woman. So shalt thou put away evil from Israel. Right. Can't be doing that. This is off and this is wickedness. You're not supposed to be doing that. That's why you gotta just leave that stuff alone and let it be. Don't go lusting after no man's wife. Don't go, go doing all these wicked things. This is not right. This is going against the law and the commandments, and things like this, you'll be put to death for that. This is like a serious matter. And we could go to James 1:14. Oh, Salaki. It's the wrong one. We'll go back to 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel 11 and 14. Select for that. It says, and it came to pass in the morning, David wrote a letter to Joab and sent it by the hand of Uriah. And he wrote in the letter saying, select. Yeah, I'm gonna read it down. And the woman conceived and sent and told David and said, I am with child. And David sent Joab, saying, send me Uriah the Hittite. And Joab sent Uriah to David. And when Uriah was to come unto David, David demanded of him how Joab did and how the people did and how the war prospered. And David said unto Uriah, go to thy house and wash thy feet. And Uriah departed out of the king's house, and there followed him a mess of meat from the king. Uriah slept at the doors of the king's house with all the servants of his lord, and went not down to his house. So, Uriah, he wasn't going down there. He wasn't going to his house. And we can see why, when you read further down, and it says, when they had told David, said, Uriah went not down to his house, David said unto Uriah, camest thou not from thy journey? Why then didst thou not go unto thy house? And Uriah said unto David, the ark and the Israel and Judah are by the tent, and my lord Joab and the servants of my lord are encamped in the open fields. Shall I then go into my house to eat and to drink, and to lie with my wife? As thou hast lived, and as thou soul liveth, I will not do these things. And Uriah was one of the mighty men of David, one of the valiant men, and he was a man who would stand shoulder to shoulder with his brothers, with his fellow servants, fighting the war. He wouldn't just go home and relax, knowing that they got a battle going out there and he at home chilling. He wouldn't do that. He's a mighty man. He's like a man of the Lord. And David said unto Uriah, tarry here to the day also, and tomorrow, and I will let thee depart. So Uriah abode in Jerusalem that day and tomorrow. And when David had called him, he did eat and drink before him, and he made him drunk. And at even he went out to lie on his bed with the servants of his lord, but went not down to his house. And it came to pass in the morning that Joab sent it by the hand of Uriah, and he wrote in the letter saying, set ye Uriah in front of the hottest battle, and retire ye from him, that he may be smitten and die. And you want to think, like, why would he do these things? David know that he was trying to cover up his sin. He was trying to cover up his evil doing by getting Uriah drunk and to go and to his wife and lie into her. So he could cover up and say that the kid that's being that Bathsheba had, he could throw it on him instead of it being falling upon David. So the whole time David was trying to cover up his acts, which he couldn't, because Uriah wasn't going to do that. He wasn't going to fall for that. He didn't want to, go into his house knowing that, his fellow servants, his fellow brethren was out there at war. So, and we're going to read further down. It says, and he wrote the letter saying, set Uriah in front of the hottest battle, and retire ye from him, that he might be smitten and die. And it came to pass when Joab observed the city, that he had signed Uriah unto the place where he knew that the valiant men were. And the men of the city went out and fought with Joab, and there fell some of the people of the servants of David, and Uriah the Hittite died also. And David know that if he couldn't get him to sleep with his wife, the only thing he had to do was kill him to cover it up, to make it so it could be more official. And we could go into that in Matthew 5 and 21. It says, ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill be in danger of judgment. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of judgment, and whosoever say to his brother Rakah shall be in danger of the council but whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. And, David didn't have no reason to kill him. David didn't have no hard evidence or hard anything that would make him to do those things, those wicked things. So David murdered him. He basically set up a hit on him, or what it is. He set him up for fall to be smiting, which he wasn't supposed to do that, which he shouldn't do that because that's against the law. And go into 1 Corinthians 7:39. And it says, the wife is bound by the law as long as her husband liveth. But if her man be dead, she is liberty to marry whom she will, only in the Lord. And, David know that the only way he could have covered it up and made it good for him was if Uriah died. And he did that because he know that he can't just up and have her as a wife. So he had to kill him. And that's what the route that he took to do with Uriah. He killed him, which is wicked and nothing that you should be doing. And that's very displeasing to the Most High. And we're going to go back to 2 Samuel 11 and go to 18. And then Joab sent and told David all the things concerning the war, and charged the messenger, saying, when thou hast made an end of telling the matters of the war unto the king, and if so be the king's wrath arise, and he say unto thee, wherefore approach ye so nigh unto the city, when ye did fight? Knew ye not that they would shoot from the wall, who smote Abimelech, the son of Jerubasheth? Did not as a woman cast a piece of milestone upon him from the wall, that he died in the Bez? Why went nigh the wall? Why went ye nigh the wall? Then say thou, thy servant Uriah the Hittite is dead. So the messenger went and came and showed David all that Joab had sent him for. And the messenger said unto David, surely the men prevailed against us, and came unto us into the field, and we were upon them even unto the entering of the gate. And the shooter shot from off the wall upon thy servants, and some of the king's servants be dead, and thy servant Uriah Hittite is dead also. It says, and David said unto the messenger, thou shalt say unto Joab, let this not please thee, for the sword devour one as well. Make thy battle more strong against the city, and overthrow it, and encourage thou him. And when the wife of Uriah heard that Uriah her husband was dead, she mourned for her husband. And when the mourning was past, David sent for and fetched her to his house, and she became his wife and bare his son. But the thing that David has done displeased the Most High. Right. And the whole time David knew what he was doing because of to one of the Abimelech's son. The woman had dropped that milestone upon his head and killed him. And he knew that it wasn't a safe thing to do. So that's why he sent Uriah out in the front, to be, killed. And we're going to go to 1 Chronicles 21:7. It says, and the Most High was displeased with this thing, therefore he smote Israel. And David said unto the Most High, I have sinned greatly because I have done this thing. But now I beseech thee, do away with the iniquity of thy servants, for I have done very foolishly. I'm going to go to Hebrew 13:4. Hebrews 13:4. It says, marriage is honorable in all, in the bed undefiled, but the whoremongers and adulterers will the Most High judge. And when you go into whoremongers, it says, a man who prostitutes his body to another lust for hire, a male prostitute, a man who indulges in unlawful sexual intercourse, a fornicator. And we're going to go into adulterers. And it says, adulterer, a metaphor, one who's faithless towards the Most High and ungodly. And then we're going to go to 2 Samuel to read further on to what happened in the story. I'm going to go to 7. This is when the Most High used Nathan to confront David. But he rebukes him first with the story of the lamb. But I'm going to go down to 7. If you want to read it, you could go up and start it from verse 1. And Nathan said to David, thou art the man. Thus said Yahweh, power of Israel, I anointed thee over Israel, and I delivered thee out of the hand of Saul, and I gave thee the master's house and thy master's wives into thy bosom, and gave the house of Israel of Judah. And if that had been too little, I would have moreover have given unto thee such and such things. And you can see that, having multiple wives and it's not nothing wrong, because the Most High would have gave them more if he would have asked for it. If he really wanted it, he could have gave it to him. But instead, he indulged in his lustful and fleshly ways, which he wasn't supposed to. And it said, wherefore thou hast despised the commandments of Yahweh to do evil in thy sight. Thou hast killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and hast taken his wife to be thy wife, and hast slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. In doing so, those things, he displeased the Most High. And, the Most High didn't like that of him. You go to 1 Samuel 15 and 19. It said, wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of Yahweh, but didst fly upon the spoil, and did evil in the sight of, Yahweh? And that spoil was, Bathsheba. He didn't obey. He knew, he was supposed to be out in battle, but he didn't obey, and he stayed home, and he ended up doing a sinful act, and it got him in that predicament that he is in right now. We're going to go back to 2 Samuel 10. So 2 Samuel 12 and 10. It said, now therefore the sword shall never depart from thine house, because thou hast despised me, and hast taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be thy wife. Thus said Yahweh, behold, I'll raise up against thy evil. Raise up against thee out of thine house. I will raise up evil against thee out of thine own house, and I will take thy wives before thy eyes, and give them unto thy neighbor, and shall lie with thy wives in the sight of the sun. For thou didst it secretly, but I will do these things before all Israel and before the sun. And David said unto Nathan, I have sinned against Yahweh. And Nathan said unto David, Yahweh also hath put away thy sins, and thou shalt not die. And we could go into when David had repented for his sins in Psalms 51. And 51, 1 and 4, it says, the Psalm of David when Nathan the prophet came unto him after he gone into Bathsheba. It said, have mercy upon me, O power, according to thy loveliness, according to thy loving kindness, according unto the multitude of thine tender mercies, blot out my transgression. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquities, and cleanse me from my sins. For I acknowledge my transgression, and my sins is ever before me. Against thee only have I sinned, and done this evil in thy sight, that thou mightest be justified when thou speakest, and be clear when judges. And this was his sinner's prayers. He said contrite sinner's prayers for pardon. And we'll go back to 2 Samuel 12 and 15 to wrap it up. And 15. And Nathan departed unto his house, and Yahweh struck the child that Uriah's wife bare unto him, and it was very sick. And that's all I have. And Lord willing, I'll make a part 2 to go further into what happened after this and what led him to his family, his household downfall with his sons. But hopefully, Lord willing, this lesson was edified. And I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rekaha Kodash, Dabash, apostles and elders in GMS who rule our prophet and teaching is the truth. Peace, blessing, and salutation to the hopeful light that scattered amongst the nation. And Shalom.